So the first book I have here is One of Us Is Not Lying, because that's not the right one. Hey guys, Dora here and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today I will be doing my beginning of the year unhaul. It's funny how I say that as if I unhaul every month. I will not be going in any particular order, I just have the stack right here. So without further ado, let's just get started. First book I have here is Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. This is actually an ARC. I got it from work, and at the time I was really excited to read this book because I loved Karen's first book, which was One of Us Is Lying. I thought it was a fantastic read and it was her debut book. So when we got an ARC of this book, I was like, I'm definitely gonna give her another chance. But I was severely let down by this. In this book, we follow Ellery and her twin brother. They move in with their grandmother for the reason that their mother is actually in rehab. During this course of the time, there's this whole mystery that a few years back, Ellery's mom's twin sister was kidnapped and murdered. Ellery, who is a crime investigator person, she's actually a teenager. It's her senior year, but she's really into crime. She likes doing investigations. It kind of goes on like that, and I feel like it was a very predictable, very forgetful read. The beginning was not all that great. I will be donating it. Hopefully someone will read it and love it. The next book I have here is I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erika Sanchez. Now this might not come as a big surprise, mostly because I did read it at the beginning of 2018 and absolutely disliked it. I had really big high hopes for this book because it is from the point of view of a Mexican girl, and I thought, hey, I'm Mexican. I could probably relate so much to this character, but no. It definitely went to the worst case scenario in a Mexican family. The main character is also very judgmental. I disliked that so much. There's this part in this book, I even have it sectioned off, it's on page 50, when they're talking about how these older Mexican ladies are always knitting dollies and they're all over the house, and that is considered like the tackiest thing ever, and having a lot of dollies around the house means that you're actually really poor. And I grew up in that case because my childhood was full of my mom knitting a lot of dollies, and I'm like, In this book we follow Julia. Julia's older sister was considered as the perfect Mexican daughter because she was gonna stay home with the family after she finished high school, and she was just gonna take care of her parents. And Julia, she wants to go to college after high school. She wants to go get a career. When Julia's older sister dies, the whole staying home with the parents falls to her, but she doesn't want that, so her parents are kind of like, do not think about college, you can't go to college, you're gonna have to stay here with us. I feel like it was all over the place. My childhood was insulted. Definitely gonna give this away. It was definitely one of the first ones at the top of the list after I read this. Next we have The Bone Witch by Ren Chupeco. I tried reading this for Booktubeathon. I'll leave a link up here. The reason why I know I won't be reading this book is because I thought the beginning was really slow. It also has kind of like jargon, and I feel like the author expected us readers to understand what this jargon meant. There's no glossary, there's no index. Definitely was a little, I don't want to say infuriating, but it was a little annoying that we didn't get an explanation. Our main character T is a necromancer, and she accidentally brings her brother back from the dead, and where she lives, I guess necromancers are believed to be evil, and because of that she is then exiled. The next book I have here is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I absolutely love Morgan. She wrote a fiction novel that kind of feels like my biography. This book is about Charlie, and her older sister is getting married. For the weekend of her sister's wedding, everybody is coming down from where they live, and in all the chaos of the final touches, the rehearsal dinner, everything that you can think of that can go wrong does. And that is one of the things that I didn't like about this book, is that everything went wrong. Not a single thing went right. I understand that Morgan was trying to do it for comedic effect, but this is almost a 500-page book. It takes place in the span of 2 days, and I feel like everything was overly descriptive. There's a whole bunch of things that could have been left out, and I was really excited to read it because I love Morgan, and also because I was reading it during the week of my sister's wedding, so I feel like I could have related to Charlie. But honestly, I couldn't relate at all. The next book I have here is one I've had for a couple of years now. I bought it during the beginning of my booktube career, I want to say. It has been about 5-6 years since I've had this book, and I just haven't picked it up, and I realized I am never going to either. And that is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I love Amy because she and Jay wrote the Illuminae files. The way this book is described to me is that it's a Romeo-Juliet story in space. I'm not really into sci-fi, and during the beginning of booktube I thought I needed to buy all the books to have content, and since then that has changed. I'm not getting to this. I'm not gonna keep it for year 7. The next book I have here is one that I did read. I was interested in the series, but I realized that I am not gonna get to it anytime soon, and if I ever do want to read it, I'll just borrow the books from the library, and that is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I did read it. I did enjoy it. I love Greek mythology. I just don't feel like finishing or reading this series at the moment. There are other series and other books that I want to get to. I'll probably end up borrowing it from my library whenever I'm ready to read these books. The next book I have here is one that I'm still on the fence because I love the idea of this book, and that is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. The reason I want to keep this book is because it's time travel, and if you know me, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I love time travel, but I've had it for like 4 years and I still haven't gotten to it. This book came out after, I want to say, Never Fade, and then we got In the Afterlife, and then we got the second book of this one because this is a duology. And I believe we follow our main character Etta, and she's a violin player. All of a sudden she's thrust into the past. Last year I was gonna unhaul it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it because it's time travel. I'm going to get to it soon. When I saw this on the shelf, I'm like, this is definitely a book that I should get rid of. Next we have A Caravel by Stephanie Garber. This is a book that I really did enjoy, did not love. Caravel is about kind of like the circus themed story. The rule is to remember it's only a game and not to believe anything you see. But I'm not continuing on with the series, so I don't know why I should even keep this. Look how shiny it is. Woo! Okay, you know what? I'm done. Next, we have Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter. This was actually in my first Owl Crate box ever. It was supposed to be a scary Halloween read. I've tried reading it a couple of times. I believe this is a Russian folk tale retelling. Figure at the time I was really excited to receive this book because it was from Owl Crate. I don't see myself reading it. Then we have Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. Once again, I got this a few years back in a book outlet order. I was really intrigued by it at the time. I did read the synopsis when I first bought it, but now I don't even know what the story is about. And I love the cover, I love the fire, the bridge, the castle, but honestly I just don't see myself getting to this book. It's been 5 years since I bought it, and I can already tell you that if I keep having it on my shelf, I'm never gonna get to it. These next 3 that I have is actually a trilogy, and I decided to keep them last year because I thought I'd get to them by then, before 2018 was over, which I clearly didn't. And that is the Neath Trilogy by Brodie, Ashton. Once again, book outlet 5, maybe 6 years ago. I'm just not gonna get to them. I told myself in 2018 that if I didn't read them that year, I was definitely gonna unhaul them in 2019. Sadly, like I said, did not get to them in 2018. Hopefully they'll find a new home with someone who will actually read them and devour them in all its glory, because I'm not gonna read them. And the last book I have here is one that I'm really sad to say goodbye to, but I will honestly never read it. I bought it on the principle that she's one of my favorite authors and I just wanted to have it, and that is just not a good thing to do when you're buying a book. And the book I'm talking about is Game Board of the Gods by Rochelle Mead. I believe it was supposed to be a series, but she only wrote 2 books, and I haven't heard whether she's continuing on with the series or if we have another Stephanie Meyer situation on our hands where she's gonna say that she's gonna write a series and then she just never does it. I mean, the story did seem like it had a very complex world. I'm really sad, but I just know I'm not gonna read this book anytime soon. So those are all the books that I'm getting rid of in 2019. My shelves have a little bit of more space space in them. Not a lot. I feel like it would have made a dent, but it really didn't because I have so many books. Actually, you know what? As I'm finishing this off, there's actually another book that I'd like to get rid of. And the book I'm talking about is When Dimple Met Rishi by Zendaya Menon. I read this in 2018. I think it was in December. But I did read it. I did like it. I just didn't love it. Dimple is in a coding convention in San Francisco because she loves coding. And then Rishi is a hopeless romantic. When his parents tell him that he and his future wife will be attending the same summer program wherein he'll have to woo her, he's totally on board. I'm not gonna lie, it was a really cute story and I really enjoyed reading about the culture, but definitely not one of my favorites. Now that's the last book. That is all I have for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments below. Have you read any of these books? And if so, what did you think of them? Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more of my face. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!